Okay, so that's up as far as we can get with geometric constraints, and we've looked at this toolbar as well. Now before we move on to the next section, which will be dimensional constraints, let's take a little break from the monotony and talk about something different for a few minutes. I want to talk about getting help. In a nice orange colour. Getting help. Well, there's a few places to get help. Obviously, the MicroStation help is the first place. It's also going to be nice to get a few different perspectives on everything that I'm going through here. When we're looking for help on dimension-driven design in the help guide here, it's quite well hidden away. I have to go to the administrator guide and then to workspaces, building custom projects, and then dimension-driven cells. There's quite a lot of useful information in there. Definitions on things like constraints, constructions, well constrained, degrees of freedom, the different types of constraints. Lots of good information in there. Some stuff I won't even be fully covering, the likes of some of these operators are available when we do some custom equations and variables later on. So that's well worth a look. That's the first place. Let's see here, type that in. One is the help file. X. Bentley have a set of tutorials available since the release of 7, I think it was, on the FTP server on bentley.com. So let's have a look at that. And if I can remember, it's in pub help tutorials and DDD PDF 7.1.zip. So let's stick that in there. 3 would be, let's see, the discussion forums eventually. This is an internet forum hosted by Bentley, and personally now I tend to stay away from internet forums in general, but I have to say this is one of the best available on the net. The people in it make it. The user interface is, I wouldn't be crazy about it, but the users on this forum are absolutely excellent. So I suppose in any of these forums down here, maybe Bentley General or Bentley VA MicroStation General, you could post topics there looking for help. Let's copy that URL and stick that in. Let's see, for well, I suppose I don't know where I'm going to publish these tutorials at the moment, but wherever I do, it'll be on some kind of blog, and you can always post questions to this blog. Details to follow. Oh, and finally, there are some example files delivered with MicroStation. Constraints.ggn, and I think you'll find that in Works. your Bentley installation folder, wherever that is, workspaces, projects, examples, dgn / constraints dgn. I think let's just check that out. Directory. Yeah, so Bentley workspace projects, examples, general dgn, and the file is constraints. I'll just go through a few things in this file first. One thing I would like to be aware of is some of the constraints here are B-splines. I haven't gone into them yet, but you can look at them later. But the most important thing is here, you might notice our geometric constraint widgets or icons here have been updated since this file was created. So what is a parallel constraint now? That's how a parallel constraint used to look. It used to look like a square, but now it has looks like that instead. It has a line through it, and there's a few of them there as well that look slightly different now with updated microposition. There's the fixed point location one. We put in the new version of that. It looks like that. That's the comparison between the two. So there's a few things just to be aware of like that. That it's slightly outdated, but nothing major. And that's a very good file to look at. Probably where I done most of my learning was from this file rather than any other place.